Now, if it's really tight, what's he talking about? I just saw Obama's doing a thing with the press. He's talking about calling for business tax reform. Is he talking here about reducing the 35% corporate tax rate? Yeah, nobody knows. We'll figure out what he's talking about. And if it's worth it, we're rolling on it. If it's worth it, we'll have the audio sound bites. Now, usually, ladies and gentlemen, the pattern for Donald Trump has been during the primary season that when he has lost a primary, he immediately changes the narrative the next day, usually by announcing an endorsement. So you got Christie endorsing, which changed the narrative of a Trump loss. Sometimes the endorsement happened the night of a loss, usually next morning. Same thing happened with Dr. Carson. After another Trump loss, Carson comes out and endorses Trump, and that changes the narrative. It's smart. Trump has no new endorsements to announce, so what he has done today has revealed his plan, explaining how he is going to have Mexico pay for his proposed wall. And the way he's going to do this, it's a Bob Woodward story in the Washington Post. Trump says he's going to cut off the so-called remittances, i.e., the wired money transfers that Mexicans send back home every year, every month, whatever. The Mexican illegals working here send a lot of money that they earn back home. It's one of the reasons why the Mexican government is so much in favor. There's a bunch of reasons why the Mexican government's in favor of illegal immigration to the U.S. One of those reasons is that much of the money earned by illegals gets sent home to family members back home. For example, in 2015, you know how much money we're talking about here? $25 billion. Nearly $25 billion was sent home by Mexicans living abroad in 2015. That's not just the U.S., but the lion's share of it is. And mostly it happens in the form of wire transfers rather than people writing checks. And this data comes from the Central Bank of Mexico, their version of the Federal Reserve. Now, Trump isn't planning on using that money for the wall, per se. That would be stealing. Instead, Trump says that he will withhold those wire transfers until the Mexican government ponies up the $5 to $10 billion he estimates the wall will cost. So, the objective here is to have a plan that reinvigorates the campaign, that changes the narrative, that takes it back to a central issue of Trump's campaign that has created so much excitement, and then advances it. Because the wall is such an old story. The narrative on the wall has become, it's never going to build a wall. Everybody knows that. That's just Trump talking. That's just Trump lying to his supporters. But he's not going to build a wall, and Mexico's never going to pay for the wall. That has settled in. So Trump has to counter that, and has done so in the Washington Post. And again, he's just going to withhold those wire transfers, keep that money from reaching Mexico until the Mexicans agree to pay for the wall. And it's obviously an attempt to make everybody stop saying that there's not going to be a wall. Here is the specific plan, how he's going to do it. The odds of this working, it could be done. And I'll tell you what, a lot of Trump supporters are going to applaud it. They're going to dig it. They are going to be supportive of this. We have all kinds of polling data out there today, including from Quinnipiac, which talks about how the American people think about this campaign and what they want in a leader. And basically, it is 53% of you say you want a leader who will do or say anything to save this country and to establish this country's prominence once again around the world. More details when we get back. Don't go away.